Roguelike games have been exploding in popularity over the last few years, and it's easy to see why. Titles like Hades and Balatro have pushed the genre into the mainstream, while classics like The Binding of Isaac continue to inspire wave after wave of creative new takes on procedural gameplay, permadeath, and deep progression systems. And 2025 is looking absolutely stacked with amazing new roguelikes. Today, I want to go through 20 of the roguelikes that I'm looking forward to the most in the next 12 months, and ones to just keep your eye on. Narrowing this list down has been brutal. So before we dive in, I do have 3 honourable mentions. Number 1, Elden Ring Nightreign. Honestly, the only reason this is an honourable mention and even mentioned in this video at all is the fact that I don't count it as a roguelike. To me, it is a Souls game with roguelike elements, granted, and it will very much be its own thing. It looks fantastic, don't get me wrong, but I felt like I needed to just give a nod to it because it will be a phenomenal game, I'm sure. Number 2 is Deck of Haunts. This game only recently came to my attention and is very unique. You build and control a haunted house in an attempt to trap and torment humans. A demo has been released, and if you like something different, this could be checked out. An eerie atmosphere and unique deck mechanics make this one to watch. Only reason it hasn't made the list is there's others that I'm more excited about. The last honourable mention is Dark Blade Ascent. This dark fantasy action roguelike features cursed weapons and fast-paced combat. If your favourite part of Skyrim was bashing trolls over the head with your melee weapons, this game's for you. It's basically about empowering you to have amazing medieval weapons. The game still needs work, but has potential, so it's still one to watch. So, as we get into the main list, a quick heads up. Some of these games are already available in early access, some of them haven't been released at all. There's a good mix there. But due to the fact that some of them are in early access and will release this year, I have included them, because to me, I'm still watching out for what's going to happen with them. Without further ado, let's get into the list. To kick off the list at number 20, we have KIBORG. This game simply looks cool. Having played the demo also, I love the third-person beat-em-up style. It's very Sifu-esque, with some gunplay too, and the sci-fi setting looks great. And the fights are intense with fast-paced movement. You essentially augment your body with cybernetics as you buff and build with really nice mechanics that really has some legs, pun intended. If you love challenging twin-stick shooters with deep progression, this one's for you. The game is brutal as well. You can sever limbs, squash heads, and tear cybernetic cores apart from living foes. The game really plays on the cyborg element and the beat-em-up style. It's a great fun to play. If you're interested, it's coming out in Q2 of 2025. The demo's out now. Go check it out. Next up, at number 19, we have a game for those fond of Fire Emblem. Astral Throne is worth a go. It is a captivating blend of retro-style, turn-based strategy and roguelike adventure. It has a true party management style like you're playing D&D. The progression, leveling of your team and recruitment is a nice play on that party style gameplay. It needs some work, but has real possibilities. This one is actually already out. It came out at the start of Feb, and they've already been making patches to it. If you're into that kind of turn-based, more strategic strategy game, and you don't mind a more pixel art style, this is one to check out. I personally found that I got quite addicted for a little while, so I'm interested to see where this goes this year, but it's one that I want to give some love already. Next up on the list at number 18 is As We Descend, a strategy roguelike deck builder. What I love with this one is the depth of the card types, which each have archetypes of army units, which can be augmented and changed with weapons and gear, as you'd expect in a deck builder. You then need to deploy the troops appropriately for the battle. The art style looks great and seems to have a great level of polish to it. You know it has some legs as well because the publisher, Coffee Stain Publishing, published Deep Rock Galactica, Valheim, and Satisfactory. So it's one that I want to keep my eye on. Right now, it only has a 2025 release date. There's no fixed timeline. However, there is a demo available. Go check it out now. It's got some real potential. Just going to stop the video very briefly here to say, please hit that like and subscribe button and turn on that notification bell if you like what you've seen, you like roguelikes and this style of content. I want to hit that 1,000 subs this year, and I'm moving at a decent pace that I might be able to do it a lot sooner. I'm encroaching on that 500 subs, and at the moment, only 7.9% of you watching my videos are subscribed. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It would mean the world to me, and I appreciate the support. Thanks. At number 17, we have a quirky one. It's a minimalist roguelike kingdom builder, where every action is observed and judged by an all-seeing ruler, or you. The game twists the genre by forcing you to adapt to very ever-changing royal decrees that alter the rules on the fly. You control a tile set that is your kingdom, or at least the walls around your kingdom. That tile set has various buildings and various resources within it, and you need to chop and change what buildings are on there. However, your loyal followers will only do the bidding in the squares or tiles that you're looking at, so you need to change which ones you're looking at. That all-seeing eye is really important, and what you're trying to do is defend ever increasingly difficult waves of enemies from attacking your kingdom. The game has a demo available already, however it is slated to be coming this year. You'll see on the Steam page it simply says coming soon, but if you look into more detail, they've said it should be in 2025. To give you a little idea of the popularity of this one, they released a statement in January saying that 100,000 people have wishlisted the game, and there's 128,000 players of the demo already. So if anything, this should assure you even more that this is one to go and check out. At number 16, we have a game that I've been a little bit addicted to the demo of. I'm keen to see how far it can go. Duchy is a tactical roguelike where you build and expand a floating kingdom by dropping tiles in a unique Tetris style-like way. With city building and strategic combat, this one looks super creative. You have to get lines in order to generate resources to then place buildings on those tiles. Those tiles can be forests, they can be fields, and when you place certain strategic buildings that are within your deck of cards or tiles, they'll be able to generate troops, they'll be able to generate more resources depending on the surrounding tiles. What's interesting with this one as well is when you're in combat, the enemy tiles are placed by you. So you're trying to place the enemy's tiles in non-favourable ways and your tiles in favourable ways. It has a really lovely and beautiful charm and art style. I've been playing the demo, and to top this one off, it has a release date of the 5th of May, approximately. At number 15, we have a chess-based roguelike that reimagines movement and attacks through a dynamic grid-based combat. It's called Passant. Think Into the Breach mixed with Balatro, with how you gain unique cards that have different abilities. So in this, you gain unique pieces like Archbishop, Dragon Knight, and Dragon King, as well as twists on traditional chess, such as atomic chess and reflecting bishops and zombie pawns. Usable items that can give you advantage, such as freezing a piece or demoting a piece to a pawn or promoting one of yours to a queen. There are a lot of different things you can use in this game. Check out the demo that's out already. It says coming soon. We're hoping that it's coming in 2025, as are they. The demo is great. It obviously needs more to it, but it's already getting a fairly good reception. If you like chess and you like roguelikes, why wouldn't you check it out? At 14, we have the next big monster taming roguelike from the creators of Monster Sanctuary. The game is called Aethermancer. The demo is out now, and if you're a Pokemon or Monster Sanctuary lover, the demo is an absolute must. Unlike Pokemon, if a monster dies in combat, you'll lose it permanently. But you have the power to defy death by rebirthing their souls. Don't lose hope though, your monsters might change in the process. Think Rogue Legacy if you've ever played that. But you will grow stronger with each of their deaths or lives. Plus, you unlock player classes that will allow you to take on different roles as the Aethermancer and turn the tides of the combat. With the fact that it's made by the same people that made Monster Sanctuary, they know what they're doing when it comes to Tamers. Again, the demo for this one is out already. It's hopefully coming this year, all things going well. It's definitely one to keep your eye on. Next up, at number 13, we have a game that was released earlier this month, Heroes of Hammerwatch 2, the sequel to the cult classic action roguelike RPG with expanded co-op, deeper character progression, and even more dungeons to explore. In Heroes of Hammerwatch 2, you'll build your town, you'll upgrade, you'll equip your heroes before taking on ever-changing Dark Citadel. Like I've said, you can do this solo, you can do this in co-op, it's an absolute blast. I will say I think it lost some of the charm from the first game and a lack of a bit of uniqueness because of it, but there is no doubt there is a lot of fun to be had, particularly if you play this game co-op, in building and upgrading your town and then going off on your dungeon runs. At number 12, we have Hades. Sorry, I mean Sworn, but seriously, Sworn is a Hades clone, but in the best way, due to a few major differences and choices the devs made. The biggest of which is that the game is co-op. You can play with up to 4 players, and due to another major difference in the fact that there are 4 playable classes, each with 4 unique weapons, gameplay feels very different and fresh every time, even though you know it's a Hades clone through and through, just in a Camelot setting, trying to beat King Arthur. The game is in early access right now, it only recently came out, but there is a lot yet to add. Plus, it goes without saying, it's published by Team 17. I would say there's still a lot of game here right now, and it is genuinely brilliant. If you liked Hades and you prefer a co-op style game, it's perfect for you. Creeping in at number 11 before we get into that top 10 is genuinely a brilliant game that is already out. Rift of the Necrodancer, the sequel, I guess, to Crypt of the Necrodancer. This is a rhythm-based roguelike. It keeps the pulse-pounding musical combat from Crypt of the Necrodancer, but shifts it to a new structure with lanes and rhythm battles. Think Guitar Hero mixed with WarioWare, made into a rhythm roguelike. It's surprisingly deep, but is incredibly difficult. If you're into that kind of rhythmic, musical kind of game, this is truly addictive. If you get into that kind of game, try it out. For me, it's one I was never that fond of Crypt of the Necrodancer, which is why I was so pleasantly surprised when I tried this one out. If you've never played Crypt of the Necrodancer, in that you moved along tile sets, whereas in this, they just doubled down on the rhythm-based game. Creeping in at number 10, the sequel to one of the best deck-building roguelikes out there. Monster Train 2 expands on the original's multi-layer combat in a vertical layered style, with even more factions, deeper synergies, and new mechanics that shake up the core gameplay. Now you can change your pyre for unique benefits, as well as new equipment and room cards that will give even more ways to augment and mix up what you're doing in order to destroy those enemies boarding the train and stopping you getting to heaven and defeating the new titans on your way. Monster Train 1 was an absolute gem of a deck builder that was really overlooked, and I feel like Monster Train 2 may see its stars in 2025 with far more people addicted to the roguelike genre. In at number 9, we have Witchfire, which is a very unique roguelike. Witchfire is a dark fantasy first-person shooter from the creators of The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. It blends immersive gunplay with supernatural powers. Think Doom meets Hades, I guess, in a gothic horror setting. One of the more unique parts is the fact that there is an extraction shooter element, that you need to take out resources in order to be able to progress and improve to take out the witch. This is still in early access and is a very intense gameplay loop. It's slightly on the pricey side at £33, however, it is stunning to look at and you can tell that it's just got heart to it. Number 8 is a game that I've been playing for a while during its early access, and if you've been with me for a while, you will have heard about it before. The game is Emberward. This little beauty could take the title as the best tower defense game out. The combination of building your path with Tetris blocks that are part of cards in your deck, which you can then augment so that those blocks, when you place a tower on it, has increased range or fire damage or many of the other augmentations that there are. The polish in the art style is what really drew me to this game. It's stunning, it's pretty, it's polished, it's clean, and the combinations of mechanics work beautifully. Honestly, I cannot wait for the full release of this game, but even if we never get there, pick this up. There's so much game still to be had. They're very soon coming to add the last biome and the few final bosses that they wanted to add, and the developers are very closely keeping an eye on the feedback. Emberward should be on your list if you are a tower defense lover. Please check this one out. At number 7 is one I doubt most people have heard of. It's Guntouchables. Having played the demo, I cannot wait for the chaotic fun of this hilarious Enter the Gungeon inspired co-op bullet hell mayhem. You and up to 3 mates can become gun-toting preppers, trying to reclaim the world from an ever-evolving horde of mutants. Simple idea, but it's delivered with the utmost hilarity and joy, with gameplay and fun at the forefront of their ideas. The demo's already out, and it technically says that the game is to be announced in terms of dates. However, in late Jan and early Feb, they've been running alpha tests, and it seems to be expected for the back end of the year, with really positive feedback from those alpha tests from what I can see. This is one I'm keeping my eye on in a more hopeful manner, because I think it could just be hilarious to play this, few beers behind you, trying to fend off this mutant horde with a few mates. The comedic value of the art style is kind of brilliant in my own. Check it out, see what you think. Now, number 6 might be a controversial one, but bear with me. Hyperlight Breaker went into early access in January to very mixed reviews due to the lack of content and major multiplayer issues and just general bugs. However, I am putting it on the list due to the potential this game has. It went into early access far too soon in my opinion, but the developers have been very quick to take action and respond. I can imagine by the end of this year, this could be fantastic. The game itself is an open world RPG extraction roguelike with combat very akin to Risk of Rain 2. They push forward exploration and speed at the forefront of what they're doing. The game can be played co-op also, and with the pedigree in the development team, I am holding out hope that this could be the sequel to Hyperlight Drifter we all hoped for and deserve. Number 5 is Deadzone Rogue. This is Doom, or Doom Light in a roguelike, and wow, have I been loving the demo. There is something snappy about this FPS roguelike, but no means is it doing anything crazy or different. It is just delivering where it needs to, with crisp gunplay, interesting perks. Movement needs a little bit of work, but you can see there's something there. And honestly, if you don't believe me, try out the demo on Steam and tell me you don't think that this could be amazing with friends. I can imagine some beer-fueled evenings of entertainment, seeing how far you can get, because this is a co-op Doom roguelike. I mean, what's more to ask? Just missing out from the podium is a game most people watching this video will know, and honestly will have played quite possibly. But that doesn't stop me being excited for the full release of Hades 2. It is the highly anticipated sequel to one of the greatest roguelikes ever made. I've mentioned twice already a Mount Rushmore, and I think Hades should be on it nowadays. It is a phenomenal game. Hades 2, it has a new protagonist, new gods to interact with, and even deeper gameplay with more of a world, with more places to explore, and it's shaped shaping up to be another masterpiece. Having just dropped their second major update of the early access, it is getting closer and closer to release, and I for one will be doing a clean save file and grinding the game at its full potential, and I cannot wait. Even though this has been in early access for some time now and a lot of people have played it, I think it deserves a spot on the most anticipated and best games from the roguelike genre of 2025, which is why it sits in the number 4 spot. So why hasn't Hades 2 hit that podium? That's because at number 3 is Windblown. I know, it's another one that's in early access and has been out for quite a while. And yes, I've already played over 40 hours of the game, but the fact that I am so excited for the full release should show just how great this game is. From Motion Twin, the developers who brought Dead Cells, is this co-op hack and slash super fast-paced action roguelike. You can play with up to 3 people total, and it has great boss fights, great weapons with awesome affixes, plenty of secrets and unlocks. It ticks every ingredient in the roguelike recipe with beautiful accuracy. The music is flawless, the opening cutscene seems to be pulled directly from an anime, the aesthetic is stunning, and the gameplay feedback is invigorating. When things go right, it really goes right. But wow, can the game be punishing in multiple ways. I've played this game on stream a few times with a couple of fellow streamers, and the devs are great at responding and asking for feedback with this game too. I really think this has the legs to be a truly special and standout roguelike for years to come. I am chomping at the bit for this one. So if I love Windblown so much, what can beat it to the number 2 slot? Well, making its way to number 2 is of course the long-awaited sequel to Slay the Spire, with new characters, new cards, and even more intricate deck building mechanics, making this a dream come true for fans of the original Slay the Spire. As I said earlier, Slay the Spire is on the Mount Rushmore of roguelike games, making the mantle as the best deck builder out there. The intricate builds that can be put together to break the game are just brilliant. There isn't so much replay value and fantastic sound and art. So why on earth wouldn't the second one be just as good? And if not, better? Well, let's keep an eye on it and see. I have all the hope in the world that Megacrit can pull this off. Although very little has been released that seems different to Slay the Spire 1, other than new monsters and cards and characters, they have teased something new on their Steam entry, which simply says new ways to play the game, yet to be announced. I'm intrigued to what this could be and can't wait. The game will be coming out into early access soon, so make sure you wishlist this now if you love the deck building genius that is Slay the Spire. So the number 1 spot, have you managed to guess what I've put there? I'm gonna guess you haven't. My number 1 is Mewgenics. Now I think this has been flying under the radar, but this is the new game from the creators of Binding of Isaac, another Mount Rushmore of roguelike games. The Binding of Isaac will forever be one of the games that so many roguelike developers inspire to be. So many have taken from its brilliant mechanics. And given Edmund Macmillan's reputation, I think this will be a banger. The game does have a fairly unique description and design, where you hoard, breed, train and set cats out on epic adventures through a sprawling world of complete chaos. You'll level up your team as you venture further and further from your home, collect unique items, defeat epic bosses, gain mutations, and return so you can breed and further your bloodline. In this turn-based legacy roguelike draft sim about cats. It sounds bizarre, right? I mean, did you play Isaac? The game totes itself as having hundreds of hours of gameplay, 6+ classes, each with 50 unique abilities to draft from, hundreds of uniques, hundreds of pieces of enchanted furniture, level up your house to make room for cats, 200+ enemies and bosses that will upset your mum, again, and tons of unique NPCs with quests that will make you gasp. And of course, don't forget, there will be poop. I am still slightly skeptical whether this game does come out this year, but right now it still says due in 2025. I cannot wait to see what the mind of Edmund Macmillan can come up with again and start breeding some cats to fight for me. It seems like a bizarre game, but I cannot doubt that the developers that brought Binding of Isaac and Super Meat Boy will bring another fantastic game to the roguelike genre. 2025 is shaping up to be an insane year for roguelike fans, and I can't wait to get my hands on all of these. Let me know in the comments which games you're most excited about, or what have I overlooked? Please inspire me. Tell me of any other games that are on the horizon that deserve me to have a look at them. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell if you'd like more roguelike coverage. And please let me know which game you would like me to cover and do some more content on. I have been Jemmy Giraffe, sending positivity, as always. Jammy.